Welcome to the spine-chilling world of Russia's most haunted places. From ancient fortresses to abandoned hospitals, these locations are steeped in dark history and eerie legends. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, the stories surrounding these sites are enough to send a shiver down your spine. Join us as we uncover the terrifying mysteries lurking in the shadows of Russia's most haunted spots. 1. Kremlin, Moscow. The Kremlin, a symbol of Russian power and prestige, hides secrets darker than its towering red walls. Beneath the grandeur lies a history soaked in blood and whispers of the past. It is said that the spirit of Ivan the Terrible, known for his cruelty, roams the halls on cold, moonless nights, his shadow casting an ominous presence. Witnesses have reported hearing faint cries echoing from ancient chambers, where prisoners once languished in agony. Even Lenin's mausoleum, a cornerstone of Soviet history, is shrouded in tales of ghostly apparitions, with some claiming to have seen a pale figure lingering near the preserved body. Guards stationed at night have spoken of unexplained chills and disembodied footsteps that follow them down deserted corridors. The Kremlin may be a fortress of authority, but for those who enter after dark, it becomes a labyrinth of restless souls and haunting mysteries. 2nd, Smolenskaya Cemetery, St. Petersburg. Petersburg. Hidden within the misty streets of St. Petersburg lies the Smolenskaya Cemetery, a place where the living dare not tread after sunset. This ancient graveyard with its crumbling tombstones and overgrown paths is said to be haunted by the souls of those who met untimely and tragic ends. Local legends tell of a grieving woman in white, her translucent figure gliding silently among the graves, searching endlessly for her lost child. Visitors have reported whispers in the cold, still air, as if the dead are trying to speak, and some claim to have seen ghostly lights flickering among the mausoleums. Even the bravest who wander here feel an unshakable presence, as though unseen eyes are watching their every move. Smolenskaya Cemetery is not just a resting place for the departed. It's a portal to a world where the boundary between the living and the dead has all but vanished. 3. The Dyatlov Pass Incident, Ural Mountains. High in the desolate Ural Mountains lies Dyatlov Pass, a place where the wilderness keeps its deadly secrets. In 1959, 9 hikers met a horrifying fate under circumstances so bizarre it chills the soul to this day. Their bodies were found scattered, some with crushed skulls, others missing eyes and tongues, their tent torn open from the inside. No tracks led to or from the site, only eerie silence and inexplicable terror. Locals whisper of an ancient curse, while others speak of glowing orbs seen hovering in the skies that fateful night. The harsh winds that howl through the pass carry whispers, as if the mountains themselves are retelling the tale of that mysterious tragedy. Every step in this frozen wasteland feels like an intrusion, as though the spirits of the hikers linger, watching, waiting. Dyatlov Pass remains a chilling enigma, a place where the line between science and the supernatural blurs into a haunting mystery. 4. Peter and Paul Fortress, St. Petersburg. In the heart of St. Petersburg stands the Peter and Paul Fortress, a monument of grandeur and dread. Built to defend the city, its walls have witnessed centuries of pain, betrayal, and death. Beneath its golden spires lie dark dungeons where prisoners were once chained and forgotten. It is said that their cries of despair still echo through the stone corridors, heard only by those who dare to wander alone. Visitors often report sudden icy chills and the sensation of unseen hands brushing against their skin. The spirit of a tormented guard is rumored to patrol the grounds, his heavy footsteps resounding on the cobblestones, even when no one is there. As the sun sets and the shadows stretch long, the fortress transforms into a domain of the restless dead. For those who enter after dark, Peter and Paul Fortress is not just a historical site, it is a place where the past refuses to die. 5. Alexander Palace, Tsarskoye Selo. Once a sanctuary of imperial elegance, Alexander Palace now stands as a somber reminder of tragedy and restless spirits. This grand residence, the final home of Tsar Nicholas II and his family, witnessed their descent into despair before their violent end. It is said that late at night, the faint sound of a piano playing drifts through the empty halls, a melancholic melody echoing from the past. Shadows have been seen moving in the dimly lit corridors, and visitors often report the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Some claim to have glimpsed the ghostly figure of Empress Alexandra, pacing the rooms in silence, her sorrow etched into the fabric of the palace. The air here feels heavy, as if the walls themselves remember the anguish they once contained. Alexander Palace is not merely a historical landmark. It is a place haunted by the weight of loss and the whispers of an empire's doomed legacy. Sixth, Mikowski Castle, St. Petersburg. Mikowski Castle looms over St. Petersburg, a structure born of paranoia and doomed by betrayal. Built by Emperor Paul I, who feared for his life, it was designed to be impenetrable, a fortress of safety that became his tomb. Just 40 days after moving in, the emperor was murdered in his own bedroom, strangled by conspirators. Now, the castle is said to be cursed, and Paul's restless spirit is believed to wander its halls. Guards and visitors have reported hearing faint whispers, the shuffle of footsteps, and the chilling sensation of being followed. Some claim to see a shadowy figure in military uniform appearing near the grand staircase only to vanish into the darkness. As the wind howls through the empty corridors, the castle seems to breathe with the weight of its tragic history. Mikowski Castle stands as a spectral reminder of a ruler's fear, betrayal, and the inescapable grasp of death. 7. The Red Square, Moscow. The Red Square, a place of grandeur and history, hides dark secrets beneath its cobblestones. Once the stage for public executions and revolutionary unrest, it is now a chilling reminder of Russia's bloody past. On certain nights when the air turns cold and still, eerie sounds echo through the square, footsteps that belong to no living soul. Some claim to see shadowy figures drifting between the Lenin mausoleum and the walls of the Kremlin, their forms barely visible in the moonlight. Legends tell of the ghosts of prisoners, once marched to their deaths in this very spot, who still haunt the square, their mournful wails carried by the wind. The Red Square is not just a symbol of Russian power, it is a place where the restless dead linger, forever tied to the place where their lives were taken, never to find peace. 8. Anichkov Palace, St. Petersburg. Petersburg Anichkov Palace, nestled along the Nevsky Prospect in St. Petersburg, exudes a quiet, unsettling presence. Once the residence of Russian nobility, it now stands as a silent witness to centuries of tragedy and secrets. The grand hallways are said to be haunted by the spirit of a young princess who met a tragic end within its walls. At night, the palace seems to awaken, footsteps echoing in the dark, whispers drifting through empty rooms, and the flickering of candles in the long-abandoned chambers. Visitors have reported a sudden drop in temperature and the feeling of being watched, as though the unseen eyes of the past are ever present. Some even claim to hear faint, sorrowful music drifting from the old ballroom, where the ghosts of forgotten aristocrats still dance under the pale light of the moon. Anichkov Palace is more than a monument to history. It is a place where the past refuses to let go, where the dead still linger in the shadows of the living. 9. Gony Dor Street, Petersburg. Deep within the heart of St. Petersburg, Gony Dor stands as a haunting relic of the past. Once a bustling marketplace, it is now a labyrinth of shadowed arches and empty corridors where the echoes of ancient merchants still linger. Some say the spirits of those who died in this very spot, driven to madness by greed and loss, never left. At night, the air grows thick with an oppressive silence, broken only by the sound of footsteps, yet no one is ever seen. Visitors have reported glimpses of pale figures drifting between the stalls, their faces frozen in eternal fear. Others hear strange whispers, as if bargaining in a language long forgotten. The dim lights flicker as if struggling against an unseen force, casting unsettling shadows across the ancient stone walls. Gony Dor is more than just an old building. It is a prison for the lost souls of those who once called it home, forever bound to the marketplace where they met their fate. 10. The abandoned town of Pyramiden, Arctic Russia. In the frozen expanse of Arctic Russia lies the ghost town of Pyramiden, a place where life once thrived, only to be abandoned in a chilling silence. This Soviet-era mining town, now lost to time, stands as a haunting monument to a forgotten past. Buildings, once vibrant with activity, are now empty and decaying, their walls lined with dust and memories. The air is thick with a sense of isolation, as if the very ground holds onto the spirits of those who once lived here. Visitors speak of hearing strange noises, footsteps in empty halls, faint voices carried by the wind, and the eerie feeling of being watched by invisible eyes. Some even claim to see shadows moving behind the frosted windows, figures that vanish when approached. In Pyramiden, the past is not merely remembered, it is alive, waiting to pull you into its cold, forgotten embrace. 11th. Vologda's Spaso Pruditsky Monastery. Deep in the heart of Vologda lies the Spaso Pruditsky Monastery, a place where history and the supernatural intertwine. Founded in the 14th century, the monastery has seen countless monks pass through its gates, some living in peace, others meeting untimely deaths under mysterious circumstances. It is said that the monastery's dark past clings to the stone walls, with whispers of long-dead monks still echoing through the quiet halls. Visitors have reported hearing the sound of chanting, though no one is there to sing. The air grows heavy, and a suffocating silence fills the empty chambers. Some claim to see flickering candlelight in the windows late at night, only to find the rooms completely deserted. The restless spirits of the past seem to linger, trapped within the monastery's sacred walls, forever bound by secrets too dark to tell. The Spaso Pruditsky Monastery is not merely a place of worship. It is a sanctuary for the lost souls who never left. 12. Lake Svetloyar, Nizhny Novgorod. Nestled in the forests of Nizhny Novgorod, Lake Svetloyar is a place shrouded in mystery and legend. Known as the Russian Atlantis, it is said to be the site of the lost city of Kitezh, a mythical town that sank beneath the waters to escape the invading Mongols. Those brave enough to venture to the lake often report strange occurrences, sudden mists that rise from the water, the distant sound of church bells ringing from the depths, and the eerie sensation that something ancient stirs beneath the surface. Locals speak of seeing ghostly figures standing by the shore, their faces etched in sorrow, waiting for the city to rise again. The lake seems to pulse with an energy that is both inviting and terrifying, as though it holds the secrets of a forgotten world. As night falls, the air grows thick with an otherworldly chill, and the restless spirits of Kitezh seem to rise from the waters, trapped between the realms of the living and the dead. 13. Sukar Rev Tower, Moscow. Sukar Rev Tower, once a majestic landmark in Moscow, now stands as a haunting reminder of Russia's turbulent past. Built in the 17th century, the tower was used for various purposes, from astronomical observations to a prison for the city's political prisoners. It is said that the souls of those who suffered within its walls still linger, bound to the structure long after it was demolished in the early 20th century. At night, the area around the tower is rumored to be cursed, with reports of strange lights flickering in the darkness and ghostly figures wandering the streets. The air grows thick with an eerie tension, as if the very ground remembers the pain and suffering of those who perished here. Some claim to hear the sound of chains dragging across the cobblestones, followed by the muffled cries of prisoners lost to time. Sukar Rev Tower may be gone, but its restless spirit remains lingering in the heart of Moscow, forever tied to its tragic history. 14. Bolshoi Theater, Moscow. The Bolshoi Theater, Moscow's iconic symbol of culture and grandeur, hides a dark and unsettling history beneath its gilded exterior. While renowned for its breathtaking performances, it is also infamous for its chilling tales of restless spirits. Over the years, many performers and staff have reported eerie occurrences, strange noises, cold gusts of air, and even glimpses of ghostly figures in the shadows. Some believe the spirit of a young ballerina, who tragically died in a fall during a performance, haunts the theater, her cries echoing through the empty halls at night. The sound of faint, otherworldly music sometimes drifts from the stage, as if an unseen orchestra continues to play for an audience that no longer exists. When the curtains fall and the lights dim, the Bolshoi Theater becomes a stage for the forgotten, where the past refuses to stay silent, and the dead never truly leave. 15. Coverinskaya Hospital, Moscow. Coverinskaya Hospital, abandoned and decaying, stands as one of Moscow's most terrifying and eerie sights. Once a functioning medical facility, it was abruptly shut down after the collapse of the Soviet Union, leaving behind a haunting shell of empty rooms and broken windows. Visitors who dare to enter speak of an overwhelming sense of dread that fills the air, as if the very walls are suffused with the pain and suffering of those who once passed through. The sound of doors creaking open and closed in the silence, the distant echo of footsteps, and the sudden flicker of lights are common occurrences. Some claim to have seen ghostly figures, dressed in old hospital gowns, wandering the darkened halls. The spirit of a former nurse, said to have died in a tragic accident, is rumored to still patrol the corridors, her faint, mournful voice heard, calling out to the lost souls trapped within. Coverinskaya Hospital is more than just an abandoned building. It is a prison for the past, where the echoes of forgotten lives linger in the darkness, waiting to be heard. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through Russia's haunted past, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more chilling tales. Share your thoughts and experiences with us in the comments below. Who knows, maybe you've visited one of these places yourself. Until next time, stay brave and keep your eyes wide open. The darkness is always closer than you think.